Good morning, everybody. I am here live from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. My name is Sarfo-Mensah, owner and founder of Identity Consulting LLC. And I want to take some time to talk to you all about this idea of being liked versus being respected by your students. And it took me a few years to realize that, early on in my career, because I thought if you're liked by your students, you're automatically respected. But then I realized that's not actually how it works. So I'll give an example. Many years ago, when I was in college, Temple University, I was working at the YMCA, and that was my work-study job at the time. And I would go there to tutor, mentor, just interact with the students because I thought, this is a great way to give back to the community I was in. And I enjoyed my time with the students. Man, they were awesome. They were great. I played basketball with them. I joked around with them. But then I realized something. When their lead teacher was around, students were listening to the teacher. Whenever she said, "Hey, we need you to sit down," they all sat down. Whenever they had to line up to transition to another room or to recess, they lined up and they followed suit. But she was like a real strict person too. She definitely cared about the students, but she was real strict. And it was to the point where certain people were scared of her. Like kids were terrified. Whenever she came in, they just stopped whatever they were doing. But they all liked her. So then I thought to myself, well, that's not really my personality. I'm not really I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky, type of guy. So I figure, all right, if I'm smiling all the time and I'm interacting with them in a fun way, they're gonna automatically listen. But that's not what happened. Man, I had a rude awakening. I came in, I would come into the classroom, I'll tell kids to, sit down or to clean up their mess. Anything, any order or directive I gave, they did the absolute opposite. And they did every single thing to test me to the point where I lost total control over the classroom. And I just kept thinking to myself, why is it that they're doing this to me? I did nothing to them. I respect the students. I'm nice to the students. Why they treat me like crap? But then I came to realize, and someone told me this, a wise person told me this. Well, Kwame, they don't listen to you because they don't respect you. And I just kept wondering, why is it that we can joke around with these students, but at the same time, they don't respect you? And then once he broke it down to the point to like, okay, you have to get the students to respect you. You have to demand their respect. You have to be firm with them. Because here's the thing. Being liked is not a requirement when you're teaching students. Students don't have to like you. They don't have to like you. But it's mandatory for them to respect you. And that's something that you have to earn as a teacher. You have to earn that respect from your students. And that starts from the beginning of the year, and it continues all the way through to June. September to June, you got to get the kids to respect you. And that all comes from building relationships with students. If you waste your time trying to get students to like you, you're never going to get them to respect you. And I think that's the number one rule when we talk about classroom management in the classroom. Some of us struggle to maintain control in our classrooms is because we're spending so much time trying to be friends with our students as opposed to being friendly. So there are certain students who hate my guts. I could think back to years where I had students who They told me straight to my face, Mr. Sarfo-Mensah, I don't like you. But you know what? When it came time to get homework done, when I had to redirect the student, when I had to do certain things, 90% of the time they complied to my directives. And that's because there was a mutual respect. They didn't have to like me, but they respected me. Right? So just keep that in mind. When you're trying to manage your classroom, it is more important to be respected than to be liked. People who look for likes are the ones that end up struggling throughout the school year to maintain control over the classroom. When you demand respect by building relations with your students, by being consistent with your norms, your procedures, your protocols, all of your systems within your classroom, the more you're consistent with that, the more students will respect you because they see that you're serious about teaching them and you're serious about elevating them. And that's really the magic right there. You don't have to be friends with your students. Your goal is to teach them and to get them to respect you. And the way that you get them to respect you is by consistency with your norms, your procedures, everything that I just mentioned. So I just wanted to drop that on you. So I'm going to go ahead with the rest of my day, and I will talk to you all another time. See y'all later. Peace.